and yet he is your father also. You think the man over in the Bahamas is my father. He's not my father. It's my daddy. That's dad. Down outright dirty. And yet, my father is your father. Yeah, dad over in the Bahamas. Dead and deader. But the truth and the facts remains the same. And see, I can say that because I know who I am. Why you think of parentheses says, being as was supposed, the son of Joseph. Luke chapter 3 and verse 23, being as was supposed. You're going to buy some birth certificate. I do not have a certificate of birth. There's no record of my birth. I only have one parent, always had one parent. It's called father. I just stole that womb. We took that womb so I can come out like I am today, in a terrestrial body, bearing and housing a celestial soul. But the truth and the facts remains the same. Even after his ascension, my father was still who he is, and as I am. And even that will make about what? That makes 14 years. His ascension happened almost 14 years ago next month, on May 7th. 14 years. And my people here, Judah, is still waiting for him to come back from prison. Yes, they are. Well, here's a message for those of you that are still waiting for my father to come out of prison or walk into your house tonight to get you and take you back to the Temple of Love in Miami with him, or take you for a space ride in one of those ships in back of me, or on his mothership, while you lay sleeping in your bed one night, or the future. You'd better study how it was in the days of Noah. You better study hard how it was in the days of Noah if you're waiting for my father to come back from prison and come to your house and get you and take you back to the Temple of Love in Miami. Or take you out on the beach and play softball with you again. You have a softball, all right. Your head is soft, but your brain is hard. That brings me to the good news. Oh, yeah, I told you I have good news. Okay, here's the good news. You and ye neither know me. Ye neither know me nor my Father. Neither one of you. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also. More good news is, have I been so long time with you, Philip-minded people? Even since 1979 of this generation, and yet have thou not known me? Not even realizing the simplicity of the facts that both he and she had seen me back in the 1980s, 1990s, and up to 2007, on May 7th, even the Bahamas, has seen the Father also. So why are you asking others to show all of you dead-minded of Judah the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father is in, I in me? See, the words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. You think this is me speaking. You have to believe, or man, believe what? Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me. Or else believe me for the very work's sake, not my sake, not my works, the works. Believe me for the very work's sakes. They're his works. I'm just a tool being used, an instrument. An instrument meant to be in me. If you choose not to believe or mind me for the very work's sake, then at least believe what my Father wrote at the beginning of all of his books, like this book. Here's one of several books that he wrote. Believe what he wrote. And I believe, in fact, here's what he, at the beginning of the book, I'm going to read what he wrote, word for word. I'm going to even quote the commas. I'm going to quote the punctuation marks that he put for a reason. Here's what he wrote. All of his books, and I have them, all of his books have a photo image of himself in black and white. To the bottom it says, and I quote, Shalom Aleichem, period. I mean, we can stop right there. Peace be unto you. Shalom Aleichem, period. I am the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, with a comma. Architect of the universe, followed by a comma. The blessed and only potentate, followed by a comma. And I am the founder of the nation of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, followed by a comma. True holiness and righteousness, followed by a comma. The kingdom of Shalom, with a comma, which is the most powerful knowledge of peace in existence, followed by a period, end quote. That is what and who Ma'ab is. Got that? So with that said, let us now focus on the last two commas. That's why I said the commas. We're going to focus on the last two commas of which Ma'ab proclaimed in that book by saying, in all of his books, by saying, again, I quote, after the comma, the kingdom of Shalom, which is the most powerful knowledge of peace in existence, period, end quote. The most powerful knowledge of peace in existence. See, this quote was first uttered and written by Ma'ab in 1993. That many are still calling to this day, quote, Yahweh ben Yahweh, end quote. Or in Hebrew, from right to left. Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, space, Beth Musophe, space, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's from right to left. From right to left. Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beth Musophe, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Now, why did Ma'ab put that? Because many of my own people, that is my people of Judah, Yehuda today, of which the majority of my people of Judah, those that are dwelling here in this land called the United States of North America. And that's ever since their fathers and mothers were brought to the Americas in bondage during the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. Especially to when they were brought to what it was called the 13 colonies back then, that are known as today the United States. You can find that prophecy, that promise in Deuteronomy, the same book, Deuteronomy chapter 28. Start at verse 15, you'll see why they got here, why they were sent here, placed in bondage. The promise, though, is found in Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. That's the promise. Also followed in the supplement of the New Testament's book called Acts chapter 7, verse 6. You'll find out why Judah was brought here, and what led to that. But most of my people are all mentally, intellectually, spiritually, and some historically dead. Mentally, intellectually, spiritually dead. Historically. You reference Isaiah chapter 29, verses 10, 11, 12, and 13. As they follow men of their own precepts today. Insomuch until every single one of the children of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, who are also known as the so-called Negro slaves today, Those are still sleeping in the dust of the planet, the dust of what they call the earth, the dust of hay. According to Daniel chapter 12, verse 2, they are now destroyed. They are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Destroyed. You hear that? My people are destroyed not because of knowledge, not because they don't have any knowledge. They are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, which means they're not getting the knowledge. They are not getting the knowledge that they need. Not because of it's being kept from them. They lack it. Why? They don't study. No one's telling them that. No one's telling my people what they should know of knowledge. And then when they do tell them, they reject it. They do. And since that is the case, the carcase of the lion, reference Judges chapter 14, verses 8 and 9, that my father, Yahweh, he said, I will also reject thee. Why? Because though thou had not known me, they want to be a priest to me. Mem Yod. See, thou hast forgot the law of thy God, Yahweh, even the laws that were given to Mem Yod Yahweh from Yahweh. Reference Psalm 19:7 and Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. I, my father, Yahweh, said, he will also forget thy children that are all alive this day. I just quoted from Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. I told you, these are not my words. The words I speak are his words. So the question you should have, if you have any, would be, what have they, my people, forgotten that has now caused them to lack their knowledge toward destruction? Without the knowledge, they're going to be destroyed. That's what we just read. Here's your answer. They have forgotten their own language that was and is created from their own Hebrew alphabets, or characters, should you prefer, that became symbols. For example, what is the 16th English alphabet? Known as P. What is, that's a question. What is the 16th, right? What is the 16th? Known as P. What is this? That's all you know, P. Isn't that true? And you knew this, you knew of this symbol, you think it's an alphabet. You knew of this symbol ever since you was about maybe 18 months old. Because even then you said, Mommy, I got a P. You're 24 months old, 2 years. You know you did. Don't lie. You know you said, Mommy, I got a P. See a P? And then, now check this out. Right side up, you said, Mommy, I got a P. That's number one. And then you turn your stomach upside down, you say, I got a do-do. All of a sudden you got D. Isn't that D? Turn upside down. Mommy, I got a D. I got to do number two. Do. See? Do-do. But you learned that. I got a P, standing up, and then you got to sit down. I got a do-do. Fellas, the male, that's the males. The ladies do both. They sit down on both. They pee and do-do, sitting down. I'm not making this up. But what is this? You think it's an alphabet. This is a symbol. It's a symbol. From the Phoenicians, started with the Phoenicians, from the Semitics. Semitics. So this P was created from the 17th Hebrew alphabet. This symbol was created from this character known as Pe. Pe, right? Pe. And Pe created Fe. Pe, Pe created Fe. 17. Got that? All right. That means what? The Greeks took our Pe. The Greeks, they stole that. They took Pe after the Semitics created their sign, P-I, Pe, and turned that letter around to suit their need of idiom to then be used from left to right, of which the direction of which they write today. See, even English reads and writes from left to right. So the Greeks did the same thing. Of which the English man created their own symbol, P. They created that. They created their own symbol, P, that is symbolic for the mouth or the top lip. You hold B. See, it took the top lip that represents the mouth of God. The Semitics did that. They created a P to create the top lip of God, and then they created a B to do the bottom lip. You put them two together, yeah. You put them together, you have a capital B if you put them together. You'd have this. That's a P here, and down to the bottom is a B. PB. PB. But the Greeks did that. It represents the God of the Hebrews' mouth, wherever he speaks. So this mouth, or top lip of Yodawafeh, created everything that is in existence today. And that's proven in a book called Psalms, chapter 33. I'm going to quote that. You want to turn to it, you can read it with me. Psalm chapter 33 and verse 6. The lip, the mouth of God, Yodawafeh, Elohim. Psalm chapter 33 and verse 6, and it reads, by the word of the Lord Yodawafeh, Yahweh, were the heavens made, and all the host of them, by the breath of his mouth. End quote. Good gracious. And notice how the Masons, the Freemasons segmented this to be 33 and 6. That's the 33rd book of the one who stands at 6 feet tall of Wad. It's all coded. That means that mouth is also the mouth of Yodawafeh. Not Yodawafeh's mouth. See, not only does the P represent Yodawafeh's mouth, the B, see, this is Yodawafeh's mouth. The B is the bottom lip that represents the mouth of Yodawafeh. You got Yodawafeh's mouth, you got the mouth of Yodawafeh. The B, that's a Beth Nun Sophie, at Beth. You got Papa and Baby Bear. Papa Bear and Baby Bear. Like Yogi and Boo Boo. See, Boo Boo. Yogi and Boo Boo. And sometimes you say, you got, Doo Doo. Oh, the English people, they just play with your minds. They have my people's minds all messed up, living in fantasy. So you're in such a fantasy, you think the world's going to go on and on. You think because tomorrow's Monday, you're going to get up and go to work tomorrow to school. It's okay. It's all right. If it rain, take an umbrella. If it's snow, take a shovel and a coat. If the volcano erupts, take an ash whooping. Or you're going to get an ash whooping if that volcano keep on erupting. Go ask those at St. Vincent. If the earth quakes, then take some sticks to hold you up. It's going to be all right. You got that? See, that's pay and fay. See, this pay also became A, as I mentioned a few moments ago, which is the first. Remember the acute, the apex, the all living? In other words, pay became A. And therefore, the power of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh's own omnipotent mouth, and on his top lip, created B of light. Created the B of light, which is found in verse 3 of Genesis chapter 1. So look at that. I'm going to read that. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3, that B became the light. And that reads, Genesis, the first book of the Bible, chapter 1 and verse 3, reads, I quote, and God, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, he said, let there be light. Colon in my Bible, colon. That's an introduction. Let there be light. And there was light. Why did they put was? Because that was go with John chapter 1 and verse 1. Because that light always was. That's why they put was. There was light from the beginning. And there will be light from everlasting. That's where was come from. Synonymous to from everlasting. Was. That means that light came here. That light was someplace else and it came here. With Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. John 1 and 1. The word was with Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. This B, B-E, also created the B. B-E-E. And the second English alphabet B. And that is the second of the 26 English alphabets, which became the bottom lip, the very same God, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, which is the voice of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Thus, creating the full mouth, the upper and lower lips of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh's, Yahweh's own special body, and of his son, the spokesperson, the mediator of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's why in Deuteronomy chapter 28 it says, if you don't listen to the voice of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, here's what's going to happen to you, Judah. But that voice then became Yahweh's son's voice, that they created the English word known as both. B-O-T-H. See, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh's voice, his own voice, and then the voice of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh became both. We got it? The B, the O, the T, and the H. Both are on the planet Hay. B, O-T-H. Beth is even on the planet Hay. B-O-T-H. This then signified Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, who art in heaven, who ascended back into heaven on May 7, 2007, from his terrestrial body back to his celestial soul and body. This, as we read in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 a few moments ago, that starts at verse 38. Nevertheless, after the ascension of whom many knew, and who is still being called by many of my people by the appellation, I got to say it. My Abba's commanded me to say it so they'll know. When shame covers them, quote, Yahweh ben Yahweh, end quote, on May 7, 2007. They did not know him when he was Moses Israel. Why are they stuck on Yahweh ben Yahweh? He came here as Moses Israel. I don't hear no one saying, where's Brother Moshe? Where's Ak Moshe? No one saying, praise Ak Moshe. No one saying that. No one saying, praise Moses Israel, Jeremiah 15, 16. Saying, praise Yahweh ben Yahweh. Well, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh continued his messages to his people and to this planet from heaven by creating another voice, which is the lowercase p. The lowercase p, upside down, right side over, to become B. Same symbol. It just down, turned the other way. Yeah. See, the P, when you write P, it faces the east. Even the capital P,